Coming up today on Breeze TV.
An off-campus shooting shakes the community.
And JMU basketball is back on the court.
Plus, the race is heating up for City Council.
Then, JMU alumni are coming home to the Berg.
All this and more coming up on Breeze TV.
Live from the Allison B. Parker Studio in the School of Media Arts and Design at James Madison University, this is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. I'm Maggie Rickerby.
And I'm Colby Reese.
An off-campus shooting occurred over the weekend. Our news director, Zoe Mowry, investigated just how much this affected the Harrisonburg community.
Just trust your gut.
This feeling is what drove local Elijah staffer to leave the party at Fox Hill Townhouses that left 8 people with non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. Stafford and his friend Kane Cicito arrived shortly before the police shut down the party.
I figured it would be dead, but it started back up like 15, 20 minutes later.
The duo left for the night, but had to return to pick up Cicito's sister. The two said the atmosphere for the party completely changed.
I felt eyes all around me, like people were staring me down. And like you can tell everybody was on their toes. This
was like actually the first party I've ever felt a bad vibe.
According to court documents, witnesses heard the now identified shooter, Tyree Fleming, say, "I'm going to shoot him." After this, Tyree proceeded to fire multiple shots. This follows an on-campus robbery last week. These 2 gun incidents have left the community in shock.
There is an emergency on the JMU campus. Seek shelter immediately.
Here at JMU, we believe that safety is everybody's responsibility, and that position has never changed.
The shooting that took place over the weekend involved no JMU students. However, this in combination with other alerting activities on campus have caused students to draw concern.
This event that was taking place has nothing to do with gatherings in general in the community, and we don't want people to tie those 2 things together.
Despite these 2 violent instances, the community can be grateful that no one was seriously injured or killed.
I was just glad I got my sister out before, because if I was any later, it could have been bad.
Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Zoe Mowry.
New action was taken to reduce the prices of both menstrual products and hearing aids. Our reporter Sam Game is in studio to discuss these new advancements. Sam?
Thanks, Colby. To combat period poverty, CVS Pharmacy is now covering the sales tax for all menstrual products in 12 states, including Virginia. The company is also reducing the price of store-brand menstrual products by 25%. According to the Huffington Post, an estimated 500 people are impacted by period poverty worldwide. Days for Girls, a student organization dedicated to sending menstrual products to impoverished countries, said that the need isn't exclusive to the third world.
It's something that not a lot of people think of, because when you hear like the word poverty, like at least for people here, you might think, oh, that's something that other countries have to deal with, but it's something that a lot of people deal with here too.
1 out of 10 college students are affected by period poverty. While there is a lack of distribution for menstrual products in bathrooms across campus, free products can be found at the pantry and the Student Success Center. A new ruling from the FDA has given the opportunity for adults with mild to moderate hearing loss to buy hearing aids over the counter for a reduced price. This is a result of both a 2021 executive order from President Biden and the 2017 Over-the-Counter Hearing Aid Act, sponsored by Senator Elizabeth Warren. The ruling went into effect this Monday. Dr. Ayasakanta Root, head of the audiology department at JMU, said the ruling will not change the prices of hearing aids. Instead, it will establish a new line of hearing aids that are more accessible for the public. He said he predicts this change will change the hearing aid market.
A lot of people buy over-the-counter hearing aids. There will be downward pressure on the companies to reduce the cost of the premium level technologies. Because hearing aids actually do not cost a whole lot to manufacture. What costs a lot is to come up with the research and development.
Root said that with elderly people making up most of the hearing loss population, he is concerned about their ability to access the information about the hearing aid systems.
You expect somebody to go pick up a hearing aid from the shelf in Walmart or Walgreens or whatnot, and be able to use it without any prior instruction. So that is going to require a lot of public education on the professional's part.
Root said that the pharmacists who are selling these hearing aids need to be properly trained on how to set up the technology in order to help their customers. The new hearing aids are now available for over-the-counter purchase. That's all I have over here. Maggie and Colby, back to you.
Great stuff, Sam. An iconic building on campus is getting revamped as JMU's Unleash donation campaign comes to a close. According to an email sent to faculty and staff on October 19th, Madison Hall will be renamed to Holland Yates Hall after JMU alumnus Paul Holland and his wife Linda Yates, as they gave the largest cash donation to the university in its history. The duo's donation went to support, quote, support scholarships, study abroad, entrepreneurship, and other initiatives that align with their personal passions. They chose Madison Hall since it is the Office of Admissions and represents the gateway to JMU.
Next on Breeze TV.
A look at this week's homecoming matchup against Marshall.
And a preview of men's and women's hoops.
Plus, how JMU football plans to bounce back.
Stay tuned.
Bojangles, Cajun Filet Biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun Filet Biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
This is Breeze TV.
The Marshall Herd come into Bridgeport Stadium to take on JMU football in a homecoming matchup. The Herd are 3-3 after an up-and-down season and are looking to bounce back after a loss to the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. The Dukes are also looking to get a win after suffering a loss last week to the Georgia Southern Eagles. Redshirt sophomore linebacker Terrace Jones spoke on what it means to be back at home after being away for 2 straight weeks.
Bridgeport and our fans is definitely a boost, a momentum factor, I would say, and just wanting to get out there and redeem myself from the performance that we did put up.
The Dukes will look to lean on redshirt senior and wide receiver Chris Thornton, who was added to the Biletnikoff Award watch list and was named an honorable mention for midseason All-American. Sophomore linebacker Jalen Walker was also named an honorable mention. This JMU football team had their Cinderella story come to an end last weekend when they suffered their first defeat of the season. The team started out 5-0 on the season and even made a AP Top 25 appearance, all within their first year in the Sun Belt. Head coach Kirk Cinetti spoke on the loss and what the team can do to move on.
In this business is keeping the edge, because you can't assume victory, that everything's going to be okay. And you got to respect what it takes to be successful. The process, the work, the effort, the mindset, the edge, and the desire on Saturday.
With 5 games still left to play in the season, the Dukes have ample opportunity to set the edge.
Basketball is back. Both the women's and men's teams are set to tip off their seasons on November 7th at the Atlantic Union Bank Center. Our reporters Ellie Fenza and Colby Reese looked into both teams and what to expect this season.
Coming off a disappointing season, head coach Sean O'Regan explained the factors that led to their struggles on the court.
When times got tough last year, I didn't think we had strong enough leadership. I didn't think we had strong enough relationships built. There was divides here and there. To me, there was clearly no chemistry or fighting for each other type of thing.
He believes they have addressed their issues this offseason, giving the team the confidence for a fresh mindset heading into a new conference.
It's a totally fresh start, and it's great, man. It's refreshing. Eyes are forward type of thing. And, you know, we're working hard.
One thing we're harping on this year is, like, with every failure, you can see something good out of it. So a loss, maybe you ran out of time. It's a lesson learned. A loss is going to push you harder for the next game. Getting 1% better every day and then being the best version of you, honestly.
Despite the major challenges that come with moving to the Sun Belt, the team doesn't believe that'll affect them from reaching their ultimate goal.
I think if we're healthy, yeah, I do think we can compete. I do think this is a team that can win a championship.
We want to go to the NCAA tournament. We want to make an impact on JMU, on the NCAA, on women's basketball.
While competing on the court, they want to bring a lot of excitement to women's basketball in the Berg.
First year, best year, like let's make it the best one. Let's start off strong.
Welcome into a new conference, ready to have a little bit of fun and just making history, honestly.
Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Ellie Fenza.
As with the women's team, the men share similar values to drive them to their goals in their inaugural season in the Sun Belt. Much anticipated conference move into the Sun Belt. JMU men's basketball is embracing this opportunity to shine against bigger competition.
We're going to come out ready to play. I mean, we're playing basketball. No matter what conference we're switching to, at the end of the day, we've got to lace our shoes up. We got to get on the floor and just play together.
You know, I think it is a confident group, and I don't think it's a group also that's kind of scared of challenges either. And, you know, I think they want the challenge of going into the Sun Belt. They want the challenge of some of our non-conference games. They embrace that.
One thing that Coach Byington believes will carry this team throughout the season is depth.
We're not going to have a set 5. And I know that right now. I think we're going to have multiple lineups that are going to be able to adjust and give us the best chance to win. And there's going to be a lot of times the groups that start aren't going to be the groups that finish.
While the team will be focused on the task at hand, keeping the end goal in mind will be used as motivation.
And we're building for that conference tournament down in Pensacola. And, you know, we talk about it. You know, we don't stay on it, but we're building up for it, trying to build momentum to be playing our best basketball by that point towards the end.
I just want to make it to the tournament. I've been playing college basketball this long, and I've yet to make it. So, I mean, that's my main goal. We make it to the tournament, and we go dancing.
With the shot clock expiring on the offseason, great anticipation awaits for the Dukes.
The weather's getting colder, leaves are changing, and basketball's coming. So, you know, our guys are excited because it's going to be here pretty soon.
Reporting for Breeze TV, this is Colby Reese.
Our reporter Noelle James is live on the quad in preparation for Quad Fest. Noelle?
Thanks, Maggie. I'm on the quad where preparations for Quad Fest are starting to get together. So join me as I'll be finding out more about this amazing event. For now, it's back to you guys in studio.
Thanks, Noelle. We'll check back in with you later.
We're at the halfway point.
City Council makes their voices heard.
And get to know another candidate on the ballot.
Plus, election results for the class of 2026.
The race is just heating up. We'll be right back.
Bojangles, Cajun Filet Biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun Filet Biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
This is Breeze TV.
Good afternoon, JMU. I'm Regine Aranazari, and this is Breeze TV Politics. With only 2.5 weeks left until Election Day, the race for City Council is in full swing. Last night, candidates for City Council participated in a traveling town hall. The candidates traveled to multiple on-campus housing locations to make their case to the student body. Compared to last year's gubernatorial election, student civic participation has declined. During the town hall, Democratic candidate Monica Robinson noted this trend and stressed the importance of local elections.
A whole bunch of us on Tuesday and a little sprinkling of you guys. So this is a huge problem. But just like we tell people in the city when there's an issue in our neighborhood, if you don't come out, if you don't speak, if you don't use your voice, you can't be a part of the solution. We need you guys to show up.
Missed the traveling town hall and want to learn more about the candidates for City Council, a public forum will be held on October 26th. Next, we highlight another local candidate in this week's installment of People in Politics. Out of the 4 newcomer candidates for Harrisonburg City Council, half are running as Democrats and the others as independents. This installment of People in Politics highlights independent Rick Nagel, who moved into the Harrisonburg community in 2016.
2 spots up for grabs, Rick Nagel is running as an independent for Harrisonburg City Council. His main goal is to combat housing issues within the city.
Developers are not building in the city because there's a lot of roadblocks through the application process, a lot of fees, a lot of costs and things like that. So first of all, I'd like to lower that so private sector developers could come in and develop affordable housing.
Nagel also hopes to bridge the gap between City Council and School Board in order to extend educational opportunities for all students.
I think we need to increase STEM as much as possible, especially make it more diverse. People of color need to be encouraged to get into STEM more. I really think City Council needs to work more closely with the school board. I don't think there's that connection right now.
Nagel also advocates for higher paying jobs and public safety. With a background in law enforcement and 20 years dedicated to public policy, Nagel feels he can approach things objectively.
I feel I bring leadership and vision and the experience, I have the background to really move Harrisonburg forward. Really, government affects your daily lives at the local level. School board, city council, even county board of supervisors. So I would encourage everyone to get out and vote in these local elections.
Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Kayla Brown.
Now, our reporter Alexa Bonilla has the latest on the recent student government elections. Alexa, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Regine. The results for the class of 2026 election were released last week. Other new officers include the Secretary of Events, Mercy Bagley, Secretary of Communications, Ellis Stotzi, Vice President, Rebecca Cressito, and President Reagan Polaric. I sat down with Polaric to discuss her big win. Her platform consists of making every student feel safe, secure, and supported at JMU. This means educating students about the mental health resources available and planning events to engage the freshman class. Polaric also spoke about amplifying student voices on campus.
A university this big, I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily know how to voice what they want or what they need. And I have no problem doing that for people, and I actually want to make sure that their voices are heard.
Polaric plans to stay involved in student government throughout her time at JMU to further her career goals and create friendships along the way. That's it for me. Back to you, Regine.
Thank you, Alexa. And now for a Madison Market update. U.S. stocks were mixed in another day of seesaw trading as investors assess corporate earnings reports and future interest rate hikes. The S&P and NASDAQ was up 1.6% and 1.3% respectively, while the Dow Jones gained 571 points, or 1.9%. Mortgage rates crept closer to 7% this week, the highest since 2002, deterring investors from the market. Oil prices continue to rise today as prospects of a weaker U.S. dollar and heightened Chinese demand mitigated concerns of global economic downturn. Earlier this week, President Biden announced the U.S. will release 15 million barrels of oil from U.S. reserves in order to combat the price hikes. That's all for Breeze TV Politics. Colby and Maggie, back to you.
Thanks, Regine. We're in the final stretch.
JMU students were feeling themselves last night at Flo Millie's concert.
And our homecoming celebration welcomes back former Dukes to the campus.
Plus, how one alumnus honors another.
Keep it here.
Bojangles, Cajun Filet Biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun Filet Biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate mountain.
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
And Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom.
Reaching residential areas.
And your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
This is Breeze TV.
Flo Midley lit up the Atlantic Union Bank Center last night as she performed for the University Program Board's annual homecoming concert. After dealing with a few technical difficulties, she kicked off this year's homecoming with a bang. To hear more about the night, check out our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter to watch the After Credits episode hosted by our senior anchor, Maggie Rickerby.
And now back to our reporter, Noelle James, who is live on the quad. What's going on out there, Noelle?
Thanks, Maggie. I'm with the Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Tim Miller. Thank you so much for your time. And what's the importance of homecoming to you, and what does it mean to you?
Well, when I think about homecoming, it is what it sounds like. It's home. So I was gone from JMU for 18 years. And almost every year, my wife, Jamie, and I came back here. We probably missed 2 or 3 over the 18-year span. And it always felt like I was coming home and being in this space that meant so much to me. I was here 8 years the first time for my undergrad, my master's, and working full-time. And now this weekend we have 5 of our friends coming back from the 90s that are going to be staying with us. I have other friends here that now have kids here. It's their home, but it's also their kids' home. So when I think about this combination, it's just an amazing time to be on this place. And when I think about my relationship to JMU now, this is home again, but it's also the second home I had. Now it's my entire home. So it's just an amazing time to be here.
And speaking of amazing times, what is your favorite event during this whole period?
So I'm really looking forward to the Step Show tomorrow night. They moved to the AUBC a year ago. That is where we should all be tomorrow night. I think football is great. I'm going to be at the football game too, but the football game for me is prep for the Step Show. So I'm hoping everyone will come to the Step Show, be there with us to watch our students and other students from across the Commonwealth and beyond perform and compete and raise money for charity. So the Step Show is where we should all be tomorrow night.
Thank you so much for your time. Make sure to come out and enjoy the free food, games, and giveaways, and also get a performance of the Marching Royal Dukes and JMU's 9 premier a cappella groups. That's it from the quad, and all the activities start at 5 p.m. It's back to you guys in studio.
Thanks, Noelle. This homecoming, alumni are falling back into their old traditions. I found out why so many alumni continue to stay connected with JMU after graduation.
Approaching this weekend, alumni are traveling from far and wide to their home at JMU. Tripp Hughes, the president of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, said that JMU is a feeling.
People are proud of their JMU education. They're tied to JMU. Even, I know a lot of parents that didn't go to JMU that love JMU more than their own alma mater. And I think that just speaks to how special of a place that JMU is and the JMU community is.
Many former Dukes show their purple and gold pride outside of Harrisonburg. Raminder Chadha, class of '94, started an alumni club in Chicago to share the JMU spirit with fellow graduates.
Whenever we've done watch parties in Chicago, people who are watching us fans just going berserk and being so happy. I've seen other people say, hey, how come my school doesn't have this? And I'm always baffled, I don't know why your school doesn't have it.
The alumni bond is generational. Jerry Ehrman, class of '56 at the all-women's Madison College, said that her experience on campus was much different than JMU now. Despite the changes, her sentiment about the community remains the same.
Everybody's so close while there and away after graduation.
Ehrman is a longtime member of the Duke Club and plans to tailgate and attend the football game. Homecoming is also a collection of many other events that represent tradition and community.
There's so many different elements happening around campus that make someone's Madison experience what they are, and I feel like homecoming is really the culmination where folks can come back and celebrate with the affinity or with the group that meant the most to them.
Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Maggie Rickerby.
Our executive producer is in studio with Eric Wagner, a JMU alumnus who is hiking the Appalachian Trail to raise $1 million for the Allison Parker Foundation. Kayla?
It's Colby. I'm here today with Eric Wagner, friend of Allison Parker and JMU alumni class of 2008. Eric, you had a very special friendship with Allison. When you and Allison met, what was your first impression of her?
I'll never forget, I was having a particularly bad day, and I was sitting behind her in class, and I remember her just turning behind and just being, hey, Eric, how's it going? She had just such a way of making people feel at home no matter where she was or who she was with. That was the moment that I was like, wow, like she stood out in my memory, and she always will.
How did you connect with her family after her death?
A friend of hers reached out to me, told me that she was going to go to the memorial. We ended up going there, and that's when I kind of initially met Barbara and Andy. And then after that, we actually reconnected in the summer of 2021, so not this summer, but last summer, and we got to meet together. I actually got their blessing. I talked to them about this whole plan, and they were very touched, and I was very touched. I was very grateful to be able to spend time with them. I spent about 2 or 3 days with them, learning about Allison, getting firsthand accounts of the memories, and it made it so much more compelling for me to pursue this.
Can you describe your plan to raise money for the Allison Parker Foundation?
I'm going to be hiking from the Delaware Water Gap back to Damascus, so I'm going to complete roughly a 826-mile portion of the trail. I'm hoping to complete in 33 days, so I'm going to be roughly hiking about 25 miles a day.
Thank you so much, Eric,
Thank you
for coming today. It was really an honor to have you here.
Absolutely, it's an honor here too.
All right, well, Colby, I think that was a pretty good show, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, it was fun anchoring with you today.
Yeah, and happy SMAD Day. For those of you that don't know, today is SMAD Day, and we've had so many amazing alum in and out of the studio.
And my mom.
And Colby's mom is here too. Shout out to Colby's mom. All right, we'll see you guys next time, same place.